Mr. Steven Anderson, the founder of the Faithful Day Baptist Church. Now, he would want to be recognized by his title of preacher, but in all reality, we should view him for what he truly is once you go and you pull the veil back, and that's a bigot, a psychopath, and most of all, a fucking cult leader. Mr. Anderson went on an hour-long spiel in front of a captive audience of empty-headed fucking idiots who look to this walking, talking, wishing well of ignorance and stupidity for the Word of God. And you see, according to Mr. Anderson, the terrorist attacks that occurred recently in France were all warranted and justified according to this motherfucker's disgusting, dark, twisted mind. He had this list of reasons as to why this should have occurred and why it should have been expected. And why these deaths really just don't matter. He had said that it occurred in France, especially France, because they accept and are okay with adultery. So that means that people should be condemned to death, according to him. Worse yet, when you watch the video and you hear this fucking psycho jabbering on the entire time, you can hear the fucking goddamn mouth breathers sitting there going, yeah, all accepting everything that he's saying, agreeing with every word that spills out of his disgusting fucking mouth, applauding it. I'm just, and it fucks my head up to think I live in the same country with these kinds of people. And this is a man that has a big problem with adultery, yet you have 7 fucking kids. So I'm pretty sure you actually are okay with adultery too. As a matter of fact, I've noticed a lot of people that go really far out of their way to have an issue with homosexuals, with adultery, and tons of other shit, just like Mr. Anderson does. Oh, Steven, you know what's great about it? Is that it always ends up getting a couple skeletons just fucking shucking and jiving right out of a closet, and all the dirty laundry gets aired out. And comes to find out that you're a pretty fucked up person. I mean, we can already see that just given face value, but there's always stuff that's hidden away. I guarantee you're a real fucked up person. I mean, for example, you had said, here, I just want to make sure that I have this quoted correctly, that you described gay people, okay? You described gay people as sodomites who recruit through rape and recruit through molestation. That's one of your quotes. We're supposed to take this man seriously. A fucking blast from the past, straight out of the fucking Dark Ages. No DeLorean required. We have this guy here saying this kind of shit in 2015, heading on strong into 2016. And he has a church and isn't even recognized as a true hate group. I don't even understand how anybody can look at you and take you seriously. I can't. But let's go back to when you were talking about these terrorist attacks. And how you didn't seem to flinch, have a problem, no issue whatsoever. No change in your tone, nothing in your face about all of these innocent lives that were taken. That was until you started talking about the Eagles of Death Metal, who you were trying to say were a death metal band, and they're not even metal, let alone death metal. You just said that based off of the name alone, and you had no fucking idea what you were talking about. Not that I expected you to. I mean, fact-checking, obviously, isn't your main forte. Anybody with any ounce of fucking common sense can see that. Hell, every single fucking self-respecting Christian can look at you facepalm and cringe at the idea that you are some sort of representative of a religious group that they're a part of. And that should sicken them to their fucking core. Because you're fucked up. But you were saying, oh, they're a death metal group, and if you go to a death metal concert, you should expect to die. That's what he's saying. You go to these disgusting rock concerts, you should expect death. So now we are going back decades and decades and decades where rock music was the be-all, end-all for all these crazy motherfuckers who are standing at their little fucking podium screaming about the word of God and he hates this music. It's somewhere in this Bible where I can twist some words around and make it work on my end, right? So, let's go even further into this. You start talking about the lead singer of the Eagles of death metal, okay? You were talking about this guy, and you cherry-picked a couple of things to work in your little sermon, whatever the fuck bullshit that you were sitting there rambling on about. You were cherry-picking this shit, and you're like, oh man, he's into drugs and stuff. Even though I know plenty of Christians that are also into that, including Baptist church fucking cult leaders, but hey, what the fuck can I say? I mean, that's just fact-finding, and, you know, whatever. But you were so hung up on the idea that this dude does drugs and lives the rock and roll lifestyle, you had called him a drug-pushing hillbilly faggot. Your exact quote. A drug-pushing hillbilly faggot based off of the fact that this dude was wearing pink pants. That was his reasoning for going and labeling him as such. And because of the state that he resided from. So, let's see. He's pushing drugs because he was smoking weed. Oh my god. Even if he was doing every fucking drug under the sun, who the fuck cares? I mean, literally, who the fuck cares? And he's wearing pink pants. So you're going to call him a faggot. It's a color of pants. I mean, I don't... Your fucking church is called the Faithful Word. What the fuck are you faithful to? You are a fucking delusional mental case. You would take a good look at somebody like me and you would label me as 1,000,001 other things without knowing a single fucking thing about me, and then all the gibbering lunatics that show up in that asylum that you call a church would sit there and be like, arr, 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 arr. You really think, deep down inside, that this shit's true. You think that French people deserve to die because they're French. Because of the little plot of soil that they live on, they deserve to die. Because they accept adultery. That's what you think. That they should expect this. You went off on this big tangent because of a musical act. And that's where people were killed at. What about at sporting events? What about at actual churches? What about at any large gathering where there's a shitload of people in a small ass place and it's easy fucking pickings? Because that's what happens. They plot their course and they set up their fucking plans and they execute them. And you can't even figure this out. No, actually, I know that you can figure it out. You're probably not that stupid because you're capable of manipulating all these people, lying to yourself and lying to them. So I know for a fact that you know these facts. But you don't want to face these facts, let alone go and accept them and then tell people about them, because that means that you would have to admit to being wrong. And somebody like you cannot go and do that. You will not do that. That would undermine everything that you fucking do. Everything that you are. And that's a liar, a con artist, a bullshitter, a bigot, a cult leader, a raving fucking lunatic. But what do I know? I don't have an established church. I mean, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet, and I bet I look like I worship the devil, right? I look like I'm all about the satanic death rock music. As a matter of fact, I am all about death metal, but that means that I should be condemned to death. Well, sorry guys. I'm just gonna have to go and cut this video short because I need to go and get killed right now. According to Mr. Steven Anderson. I want all of you to take the time, for as long as you're capable of stomaching it, because, well, it shouldn't take too long. In the description, I'm going to put the video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put links to some other things. If you decide to just, I don't know, check out what the fuck I'm talking about and see why this guy is as bad as I'm saying he is. But then again, you might think, no, he's the greatest person in the entire world. Alpha's just attacking Christians or some shit like that. If you actually think that, you were completely and utterly fucking stupid. And you haven't pulled your head out of your ass. So the minute that you do that, after you get a little whiff of fresh air, then you'll realize this isn't an attack on anybody except for Mr. Anderson. For the disgusting shit that he said about entire large groups of people, the ignorance that he puts on display and spreads around, he might say, he's only one guy, Alpha, why do you even care? Every time somebody says some shit like that, I always wonder, do you ever think before you fucking speak? Because when you allow people like this to continue to do what they do, to say what they're going to say, then you come to find out even worse things. And that there's lots of people out there that want to be led. They want to be a sponge to absorb all of the information, all of the knowledge, all of the opinions, everything. They just want to be guided. And this man is happy to go and guide them directly off a fucking cliff. And that's wrong. Sure, I shouldn't say the shit that I'm saying because, well, that's their life, right? No, motherfuckers like this need to be put on point. They need to be called out. Nobody else is doing it. So why the fuck not? Those people didn't deserve to die, Steve. Those people didn't deserve to have any of that shit happen to them. Entire groupings of people that you label as shit do not deserve to have any of this stuff happen to them. I mean, you think that homosexuals should just be condemned to death because of how they live. Because that's not how you live. And that's really fucking wrong. There's shit tons of people out there that I don't agree with, that I would never agree with, that I could even fucking stomach being around, including you, but I would never, ever sit there and applaud some terrible shit happening to them. You know why? Because I'm not fucked up and immoral like you are. I might look the part according to you because I don't fit within this kosher little bullshit picture perfect world that you have devised for everybody and that you're trying to go and showcase to them. This is how things need to be, and anything else should not be accepted and should be killed. Like I said, you're a blast from the past, from the dark ages, and you're not going to change anytime soon, but I think that people should at least know who you are, what you are, and why you are the way that you are. Anyway, that's it. Mr. Anderson, go fuck yourself.